So, Test. Bin wieder da. Mal gucken, ob mein Bot jetzt den richtigen Link raushaut. Ich muss den noch so ein bisschen anpassen. Na, mach das. Ja, sauber, macht es. Let's go. Jetzt habe ich endlich eine automatisierte Bot-Message. Für die Streams. Oh, das ist so angenehm. So. Ich könnte eigentlich was Automatisiertes auch noch für die anderen Medien machen. Zum Beispiel jedes Mal, wenn ich Uploads mache oder so. Naja, aber das Wichtigste ist mal, hallo Hardy, was geht? Jums, deine Grafikkarte. Die Grafikkarte läuft immer noch, zum Glück. Welche Grafikkarte? Jetzt habe ich die 6700 XT. Von Speedster oder so, wie die hieß. Und ich bin eigentlich soweit erstmal zufrieden. Mal gucken, wie lange die hält. Also ich habe einen Benchmark laufen lassen und die Grafikkarte ist eigentlich top, so von den Punkten her, im Vergleich zu anderen Wertungen. Also im Vergleich zu diesem Average Score ist meine Grafikkarte sogar ein bisschen drüber gewesen. Vielleicht liegt es daran, dass sie overclocked ist oder so. Aber läuft alles erstmal. Das Einzige, was mir aufgefallen ist, dass die Grafikkarte Spulenfiepen hat. In bestimmten Situationen. Aber es stört mich jetzt nicht so sehr. Und Spulenfiepen kann man ja auch beheben, indem man die ein bisschen runtertunt. Also wirklich nur minimal, sodass man gefühlt keine Frameverluste hat. Und dann hört das Spulenfiepen in den meisten Fällen auch wieder auf. Das hat fast jede AMD-Karte. Ja, es liegt halt an dem Voltage. Aber es stört mich nicht, es ist nicht so laut. So. Guti, also heute geht's weiter mit Genshin. Für euch nochmal, falls ihr gerade nicht da wart, bei meinem vorherigen Streaming-Versuch. Ich überlege mir jetzt einen festen Tag einzuplanen für Streamen. Da ich jetzt mit einem Teil meiner Studienaufgaben durch bin. Also bei uns läuft das so, in dem Fach Programmieren kriegen wir jede Woche Testate. Das sind quasi so Aufgaben und die müssen wir halt lösen. Und du musst 8 von 12 Aufgaben geschafft haben, damit du dieses Testat halt auch wirklich als Ganzes geschafft hast. So, ich habe jetzt letztes Mal meine 8. Aufgabe abgegeben und bin guter Dinge, dass ich die auch bestehe, sodass ich dann keine Aufgaben mehr wirklich machen muss. Und dementsprechend habe ich auch ein bisschen mehr Zeit jetzt in der Woche, weil die verschlingen halt echt viel Zeit. Die sind teilweise so schwer. Imagine overclocken. Ja, ich würde es nicht overclocken. Ich würde meine Karte nicht overclocken. Solange man FPS capped, ist auch fein. Ja, schon, ja, aber bei mir tritt Spulenfiepen tatsächlich sogar. Also, was heißt cappen? Ich will ja mindestens. Also, ich will schon so weit wie möglich an die 144 FPS rankommen. Damit ich meinen Monitor auch ein bisschen irgendwo ausreizen kann. Und bei manchen Spielen tritt da schon Spulenfiepen auf. Es kommt auch, es ist auch weird, ey. Es kommt irgendwie auch teilweise aufs Game an. Also, bei Genshin habe ich, glaube ich, nie Spulenfiepen gehabt. Bei Final Fantasy, wo ich teilweise vielleicht 100, 112 Frames oder so pro Sekunde habe, da tritt Spulenfiepen nur sporadisch auf und zwar in so ganz weird, entweder in bestimmten Inhalten oder wenn ich meine Kamera in eine bestimmte Richtung drehe, dann habe ich Spulenfiepen. Es ist irgendwas, was er da rendern muss, was das dann verursacht. Ich bin auch mir nicht ganz sicher. Vielleicht irgendwelche weirden Partikeleffekte oder so. Aber ja, ist jetzt nicht so die Welt. Weil Genshin 60 FPS Cap hat. Hat es? Ist mir nie aufgefallen, Leute. Willkommen zurück, Jay. Deswegen hat Genshin keins. Ah, verstehe. Okay, also, apropos Genshin. Heute zocken wir weiter. Darüber regt sich fast jeder auf. Es gibt auch viele andere Sachen, die mich aufregen bei Genshin. Zum Beispiel, dass es keinen vernünftigen Controller, keine Controller-Autoerkennung hat. Das regt mich auch auf. So, starten wir Genshin. Ich habe jetzt übrigens entschieden, dass ich das Genshin-Playthrough nicht aufnehme, weil ich durch die Neuinstallation von Windows 11 ist mein ganzes DaVinci Resolve Project, alles, was ich bisher geschnitten habe, und das waren schon so 4-5 Stunden, die ich da Footage durchgeguckt habe, war weg. Weil dieses ganze Projekt war weg. Ich weiß nicht, wo er das gespeichert hat, aber das wurde bei der Neuinstallation dann gelöscht, und ich hatte halt dann keinen Nerv, mich nochmal durch das ganze Footage zu quälen, das ich jetzt hatte. Deshalb scheiße ich auf das Playthrough für Genshin und dann gibt's einen Zusammenschnitt für die nächsten Games. Das nächste Game, was ich dann plane aufzunehmen, wird wahrscheinlich entweder Tears of the Kingdom werden. Muss mal gucken, wie das von meinen Finanzen aussieht. Nächsten Monat. Oder Nier Replicant. Weil auf Nier Replicant hätte ich auch mega Bock. Das habe ich mir jetzt gekauft im Steam Sale. Das war tatsächlich mal unter 30 € verfügbar. Ja. Oder ich werde das aufnehmen. So. Okay, das erste, was wir jetzt erstmal wieder machen müssen, sind Dailies. Ich habe jetzt, glaube ich, auch die Dailies auf Sumeru gewechselt bekommen. Das heißt, ich kann wieder da direkt anfangen. Also porten wir uns mal direkt rüber. Auf Kinguin 20 €. Nier Replicant. Okay, nice. Ich habe es für 23 oder so bekommen. Also wäre jetzt auch nicht so ein großer Verlust. Der Steam Summer Sale wird nochmal böse werden. Ich hoffe, ich kriege ein geiles Schnäppchen für Elden Ring. Dann wäre ich eigentlich schon zufrieden. Ja. Ich habe heute ein Video geschaut, das von jemandem, der Genshin gezockt hat, und der dann so eine Review dazu gemacht hat. Und der hat einen Punkt angesprochen, bei dem ich zu 100% zustimme, aber es mir vorher nie wirklich aufgefallen ist. Und zwar hast du in Genshin halt, also es ist mir schon aufgefallen, aber ich habe nicht darüber bewusst nachgedacht, hast du in Genshin halt unglaublich lange und teilweise überflüssige Dialoge. Die Story wird halt unnötig lange gestreckt. Und das fällt mir halt teilweise selber auf, weil ich in vielen Dialogen oftmals halt echt das Gefühl habe, dass die einfach zu viel labern, so. Aber ich habe halt nie darüber nachgedacht, bis ich dieses Video von geschaut habe. Und wo ich mir dann dachte, ey, das ist wirklich so. So viele Sachen, du könntest halt 50% der Dialoge, könntest du mit Sicherheit kürzen, und es würde halt der Story jetzt keinen Abbruch tun. Aber anscheinend ist das etwas, was schon länger kritisiert wird in der Community. Dass da... Huch, lol, der hat mich aber ge-one-shottet. Dass es so hinausgezogen wird. Ich finde das so nice, dass Chichi jetzt random diese Abzeichen, diese Markierungen spawnen kann. Auf Gegnern, mit denen ich mich dann heile. Und dass ich ihre Ulti dann dafür nicht brauche.
with nature.
Quietly now. Take it easy.
So, das muss ich wahrscheinlich wieder zurückbringen. Gulabgier. So würde ich mein Kind nicht nennen wollen. Er hatte wahrscheinlich eine sehr schwere Kindheit. Ich habe noch etwas anderes entdeckt, was? Hab ich? Jetzt trommelt er auf seinem Tambourin. Mach mal. Trommel mal fleißig weiter. Oh, sieht das schön aus. This looks beautiful. In 2 Tagen ist es soweit, da kommt der neue Patch von Final Fantasy 14. Ich bin schon so hyped. Neue Blue Mage Sachen. Neue Main Story. Alles neu. So, und jetzt? Erreiche das Ziel. Ja, du bist witzig. Wie komme ich denn nochmal da hoch? Mit diesen Dingern hier. So. Moment kurz. Nein, fuck. Nein! Na, fuck. Ich will dieses Ding haben. Oh, sag mir nicht, ich komm da jetzt nicht hin. Kann ich diese Challenge abbrechen? Ja, kann ich. So, nochmal. Da hinten ist eine Truhe. So, Moment mal. Ich glaube, ich kann dieses fliegende Ding da abschießen. Ich brauche nur einen Dendrospender. Hallo. Oh, natürlich ist hier jetzt keins, ne? Ich bin aber auch zu faul. Ich weigere mich jetzt zu Grammar zu wechseln. Dafür bin ich einfach zu faul. Ja, du mich auch.
The wind knows me.
Whirling snow. Busted. My apologies.
Into the wind.
Into the wind.
Gotcha.
So. Dann ist hier noch eine Daily. Die ist aber auf dem Berg da irgendwo. Ja, mal gucken, wie ich da hochkomme. Und eine Seele. Ja, toll. Hier führt mich jetzt wahrscheinlich wieder an den Arsch der Welt. In die komplett andere Richtung. Ja, das war so klar. Komme ich da am galantesten hin jetzt? Ja, wahrscheinlich mit Albedo. Oh, hier ist eine... Hier ist eine... Hä? Oh lol, hier ist eine Brücke.
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding.
Da hinten ist ein Time Trial. Guck.
You are not
Things
welcome.
are about to get dicey.
As one with wind and cloud.
Whirling snow. Kamisato art. Sumeru. Quietly now. Take flight.
Oh, Retolki!
Into the
Was
wind.
geht? Wann Block? Okay.
Whirling. Gotcha.
Verstehe den nicht.
A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
Der Zirkus ist jetzt hier. Wo sind deine 20 Küsengs?
A new punch.
Quietly now. Take flight.
The wind knows me.
Erst wie Luca mal gesagt hat, der fette Türke.
One with nature.
Der muss doch nicht fett, Jamris hat schwere Knochen.
Wheel of life.
Das Einzige, was an Jamre fette ist, sind die Schellen, die er austeilt in Smash. Und das ist die Wahrheit. So, hier kann man ein paar Dinge anzünden.
Happy to oblige. Here comes the catch.
Into the wind. Following orders. Clouds high. The birds.
Gotcha. Embrace the ice.
Warum muckt Peter seinen Vater so an? Peter?
Take flight. Busted. Game's up.
Ach so, Luca oder was?
One with nature.
Lukas richtiger Name ist Peter. Alter, wieso? Okay. Wieso hat er sich denn nicht einfach Peter genannt? Wieso nennst du dich Luca, wenn du Peter... Wieso nennst du dich überhaupt Luca? Wenn du Peter heißt. Oder allgemein einfach Luca. Ist genauso, als ob ich mich Günther nenne oder so. Ist einfach ein anderer random Name. Hat der irgendwie eine besondere Bedeutung? Vielleicht ist das der Name, den er immer haben wollte und nicht bekommen hat. Ich dachte halt, Luca ist Luca in Real Life. Interessant. Ach scheiße, das Feuer ist ausgegangen. Ach nee, da muss ich ja jetzt wirklich Amber rausholen. Nö, das ist Ptier. Das ist Piotr.
At the ready.
So. Sagt man nicht, ich muss die noch in einer bestimmten Reihenfolge oder so. Ist die Insel da hinten größer geworden? So, irgendwas fehlt hier noch. Okay, Moment. Habe ich einen übersehen? Ist da irgendwo noch einer versteckt? Weil Peter nicht random genug war. Oh boy. Oh, das sieht auch recht fetzig aus. Eigentlich würde ich... Oh, hiervon noch einen Screenshot kommen. Oh, richtiger Fotografenporn. So. Nein, keine Hintergrundschärfe. Mal vergrößern. Nee. Nee. Kleinern. Nee. Was ist hier so hin? So. Okay, was hat's jetzt mit diesem Scheiß hier auf sich? Ach, da hinten ist ja noch eins. Ah, ich war einfach nur zu langsam. Alles klar, so. Und dann wieder weg. Versuch. Jetzt, wo war jetzt meine Daily? Achso, die war schon hier. Ah, okay. Das war das, was ich hier gerade gemacht habe. Da war noch eine Truhe. Da hinten. Und da auch. Und da ist ein Time Trial. Ah, schon wieder so viele Ablenkungen hier, das ist so schlimm. Nein, verpisst euch.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
So, da unten noch die eine. Aber da muss ich mich echt zusammenreißen und mich auf die Main Story konzentrieren. Zuerst mal auf die Dailies und dann die Main Story. Ist doch schlimm, scheiß Genshin, ey. Du kannst einfach keine 5 Meter weit gehen, ohne dass du von irgendwas abgelenkt wirst. Das ist so der ultimative Endgegner für Leute mit so einem ADS-Brain.
Things are about to get dicey. Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding.
So, alles klar. Da unten ist noch eine Daily. Oh nein, fuck you. Kein Bock. Wisst ihr, was richtig cool wäre hier? Mounts. Just saying. Ich werfe nur irgendwelche Ideen in den Raum, ne? Just saying. Wäre cool. Imagine, du würdest hier mit so einem Kamel oder so langreiten. Wäre doch voll fancy. Schon das Kartenspiel freigeschaltet? Nee, noch nicht. Ich weiß gerade auch nicht wo. Aber bevor ich jetzt dahin gehe und das nochmal freischalte, mache ich später, wenn ich Story habe. Sonst komme ich wieder nicht voran.
Game's up. Fun's over. Embrace the ice.
Adorn my night into the wind.
Quietly now.
Regret.
Okay. Waren das jetzt alle? Ich glaube, das waren alle. Ja, das waren alle, glaube ich. Oder? Jo. Sieht so aus, ne? Gut, dann können wir jetzt weitermachen.
Clear weather all around brightens the heart.
Add Astro. Thank you for
Ich glaube, ich kann mir auch einen Wunsch holen. Ja. Wait, what? Nein, das wollte ich nicht. Ich will diesen Pass hier. So. Was haben wir hier jetzt? Haben wir neue Probeläufe? Nee, wieso zeigt er mir immer rote Ausrufezeichen an? Ich habe das doch alles schon gemacht. Naja, außer Fischl, aber who cares about Fischl? So, weiter geht's mit der Story. Triff dich mit Zyno. Wir waren ja letztens hier stehen geblieben in diesem Dorf, wo C-Tier Candace den Sandsturm abgehalten hat, zusammen mit B-Tier, mit D-Tier Dea. Fischl ist OP. Das sagt aber Genshin.gg was anderes.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation?
Warum werden die wahnsinnigen gelehrten Dorfwächter genannt?
One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident.
Tierlisten sind meistens Garbage. Tierlisten basieren auf wissenschaftlichen Fakten, die durch Trial and Error iterativ herauskristallisiert wurden.
The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But
Immer diese Fake News.
after
Immer
studying,
dieser Fake News.
they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness.
Fischl ist halt nur nicht weiter weil sie kein DPS von sich aus richtig dealt, aber wenn du sie auf Field spielst, ist sie keine Strong und hat zwar keinen Burst raus, aber sonst. Ja, ich mag aber auch nicht, wie Fischl spielt, to be honest. Ich mag sie einfach nicht.
Scholar protecting Aru village? What do you make of it, traveler?
Nahida könnte dahinter stecken
I think
vielleicht.
so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they call calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone,
Ich weiß gar nicht, welche Ascension ich sie gerade habe.
much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story?
Die niedere Herrin Kusanali ist die wahre Wächterin des Dorfs.
Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the Mad Scholars.
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely
Ist sie 6? Uff. Da muss ich mal gucken.
How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
Wir haben Sumeru kürzlich gemeinsam gerettet.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation.
Let's go.
But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Ist dein Opa wieder aus dem Altenheim abgehauen?
Huh? Who are you?
Alte Menschen im Altenheim, Mann. Vor allem die Dementen. Du lässt sie einmal alleine und auf einmal sind sie einfach in einer ganz anderen Stadt. Wie sie da hingekommen sind, who knows. Sind hingegangen. Zu Fuß.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please,
heißt wahrscheinlich wirklich Opa. So mit Vornamen.
My grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Haven wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
Let's go, Sino.
All right.
Suchen wir den Opa.
First, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Weil wir ja nicht genug Filler-Quests haben. Weh, dieser demente Opa ist nicht wichtig für den Plot. Als ihr euch dem Haus des Dorfvorstehers nähert, bittet Sino Isak in der Nähe zu warten.
Sino is super vigilant.
Sino!
Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars, and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa.
Das klingt halt literally wie Demenz.
Only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, Grandpa retained his calm expression. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace, and with
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel...
perhaps it's also my
Maybe the people have always had it.
Huh?
No, nothing.
perhaps
Ja.
not more passionate than I gave you credit.
Okay, wir sollen den Grandpa finden. Ich hab's kapiert.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go.
Really?
Deinem Opa geht's bestimmt gut.
Alright.
So, wir hören uns um. Ich spule das Ganze mal ein bisschen vor, weil mir das ganze Gelaber einfach zu lang dauert. Ich lese viel schneller als die labern. Wenn es euch nicht stört. Außer ihr wollt natürlich zuhören. Aber ihr habt das ja eigentlich schon, glaube ich, selber gespielt.
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw anything.
The scholars that have... Don't change the...
Right. You were asking about the but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic toward...
Do you also think...
Grandpa? Oh. He was actually the one who protected... It still feels pretty surreal. Well, whatever the case...
Gotcha.
Wir müssen hier einfach so überall Wanted-Poster aufhängen von seinem Grandpa. Oh nee, sag mir nicht, der ist doch ganz oben. Wie komme ich da jetzt hoch? Der Fahrstuhl, der fährt nicht bis nach da oben. What the fuck? Ja, du willst mir nicht sagen, dass er wirklich da ganz oben ist. Ah ne, ist tiefer. Da steht sogar tiefer. Höher. Wie tief? Was denn nun? Tiefer oder höher? Entscheid dich. Ah, hier ist er. Oder? Bist du der Opa?
Sir?
Nein.
Oh, well, if it isn't, the last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. And speaking of my wife, she...
Oh, think...
It was not...
Yeah.
Ooh, that's no good. I've known you since you were very young.
Wow, what a...
Okay.
Huh?
Was ist los?
Say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Okay, klingt sass. Was ist los hier? König Dashret und die drei Heiligen. Drei Heiligen? Boah, jetzt hat Genshin, ich glaube es nicht. Die drei Heiligen, ernsthaft? Jetzt hat Genshin schon die Bibel kopiert. Ich glaube es nicht. Was kann Hoyoverse eigentlich selber, hä? Was können die eigentlich, ohne zu kopieren? Nicht mal die Bibel ist vor denen sicher. Was kommt als nächstes? Stellt sich raus, dass ich eigentlich Jesus bin? Ich meine, ich kann Elemente manipulieren und so. Ich kann noch kein Wein in Wasser verwandeln. Vielleicht kommt das mit C6.
Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of this. Still, you say.
Haven't you noticed? The Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of King. Isn't it a sign of King Deshret's power that all the mad scholars?
Huh. Now that you.
Exactly. Those city folks would.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh? Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Wait, what? Der hat noch eine zweite Form? Ist das seine Ulti oder was? Der hat halt literally so eine zweite Form wie Nasus.
This guy's something else. Just look at his eyes. One wrong move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay?
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about King Deshret.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that...
Hey.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more... Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more... Delavar also said that once King Deshret returns to our side, it's only a matter of time...
Is that...
Seems...
Got it. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning...
The people here really like King Deshret, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Nein, die hassen die Akademie, weil die Akademie voller Dullis ist.
Where is this radical
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he...
No,
Sounds like you're not too
no, of course.
I have many ways to... So you'd best just stay home. Don't do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Genau, sonst schicke ich den C-Tier-Charakter auf euch.
Scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying.
Gut, dass ich nicht zu deinen Feinden gehöre. Ich mag aber deine zweite Form.
He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
Darfst du nicht weiter provozieren.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a
Spieß Paimon bitte auf.
The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead.
Gehen wir zu den Häusern der Gelehrten.
More places. Very well.
Isaac!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
Show me the way to your house.
One with nature.
Kann ich den von der Brücke schieben?
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then,
Nein, bin ich nicht.
yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really.
Bin wahrscheinlich gerade mega nervig.
I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Echt? Wow. Erzähl mir mehr. Während ich dich versuche, so krass wie möglich zu behindern.
This is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
Dieser Ort riecht nach Obdachlosigkeit. Riechst du da auch Weihrauch?
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before.
Genau das.
But are you okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell.
So,
Huh? You know?
yes.
Ja, wir kennen Tainari.
Wait, surely.
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house?
Im Wald, in dem meine Gelehrte ihre Ausbildung machte.
In the forest.
Fallen wir uns auf, dann sind wir effizienter. Let's go. Achso, warte, vielleicht muss ich das Auge benutzen jetzt. Lass mal sehen. Okay. Das bringt nichts. Drin gibt es Haushaltsgegenstände. Da scheint jemand gelebt zu haben. Suche nach weiteren Hinweisen. Was für weitere Hinweise? Was hast du gefunden? Fußspuren.
What are you looking for, Simon?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male, and the scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the...
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
Klar. Dönergerüche können mich weglocken. Dann gehst du sehr leicht an die Angel.
Hey, what's wrong with liking good food?
Exactly. Most scholars, even deep within the clutches of madness,
No.
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
Möchte er König Deshret wiederbeleben?
Are the rumors really true?
Das ist der einzige Hinweis, den wir momentan haben.
The disappearance of all the mad scholars have...
it's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't...
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Can.
Okay, also irgendwer hat den Opa mit so einem Weihrauch weggelockt, wie so ein... Wie so in den alten Cartoons immer diese Leute immer mit so Brotkrumen oder Kuchen oder so weggelockt wurden und mit so Gummibärchen. Richtiger Cartoon-Willen hier.
Right. The dark...
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sound.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes.
Reasonably.
I'll hate them didn't go with you?
Stimmt, wo ist der eigentlich?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh.
Haben wir ihn zu Hause vergessen?
Around the village entrance early.
Did you find out anything?
Was sind unsere Raum geschaffen? Du hast Kandake und Deja alle erst erzählt, was ihr herausgefunden habt.
So someone used...
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it.
Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. It seems someone from beyond the wall.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then?
If it was any other day, that would be... Didn't you say that the villager...
If Paimon remembers correctly...
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the... These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection... Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to...
Dia! You're amazing!
Der ist ganz schön gut im Kombinieren. Der hat mir zugezwinkert. Ist jetzt der falsche Moment, um Fragen zu stellen?
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intel.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that
Wahre
also makes
Worte.
it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust.
Gesprochen wie ein richtiger D-Tier-Charakter. Ich bin stolz auf dich.
I need to go around
Diese
and ask some
Selbsterkenntnis.
questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebat with me.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's go. Geht zum Karawanenribat. Das ist, wo ist denn das? Ach da. Geht's mal langsam in die Wüste oder wie? Langsam in diese Pyramide.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
Wahrscheinlich wurde die erschaffen von irgendeinem Gott oder so.
It was only after I grew up that I
Oh
realized
mein Gott!
the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms.
Die haben es eiskalt von Game of Thrones
It serves a
abgeguckt.
more important purpose. Keep
Jetzt
Sumeru
ergibt alles einen
run
Sinn.
by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but we're cheap labor. Like live, even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other—
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Sie darf hier kein Aufsehen erregen.
Dia,
No, not at all. This place— Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Es ist nur eine Mauer, ja?
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Okay. Dann lass uns umhören.
Take it easy.
Just our luck.
you mean you
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Fucky, fucky, zacki, zacki.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Hi.
Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would
Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby.
Absolutely. Much better.
Yeah. Have you seen Enger Delavar?
Of course I have.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar.
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret.
Ich wusste gar nicht, dass die sich kennen untereinander, aber okay. Das macht die Sache einfacher.
How considerate of you.
Aber ich wette, das ist eine Falle, wer auch immer gerade zugehört hat. Das ist wahrscheinlich einer der 3 Typen dort. Und der lockt uns jetzt in eine Falle. Die natürlich keine Falle ist, weil das nur random Filler-Charaktere sind, die nicht stark sind. Die ich one-hitte. Wieder hoch. Okay, dann nicht.
Really wouldn't recommend going there.
Nächste Lager.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Uns überfallen. Was denn sonst?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark.
Haben sie uns gerade fett genannt?
You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
Ich meine, ich hab's
What's this
aus
all
3
about,
Kilometern
Zaki?
gerochen.
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake!
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Enger, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Mr.
Das war der uns zugehört hat.
You should have known the traitors are what us followers of King Deshret despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand why King Deshret is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven
Und du
by
bist
moral.
wie
My
eine
faith
kastrierte
lies in
Ratte.
Whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Let's go. Ich habe schon die ganze Zeit drauf gewartet, den auf die Fresse zu hauen, weil ich wusste, dass sie eine Falle stellen. Das war so obvious.
Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows me. Things are about to get dicey.
Das ist die Macht der 5-Sterne-Charaktere, die ich in meinem Team habe, ihr Ficker.
Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct?
Naja, da hat er recht auf jeden Fall.
That is what I said after
Die meiste
all.
Arbeit habe ich gemacht.
And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard
Weil niemand auf dich pullen möchte.
monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic.
Mit einem schnellen Tritt setzt der ja Zaki außer Gefecht.
Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Also diese Namen, die du erwähnt hast.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit,
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Enger and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Enger and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how King Deshret is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
Und der Bärtige mit Krummsäbel?
That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to.
Ja, an den erinnere ich mich.
The one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert
Wow.
mercenary for you.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
About
how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you?
Nö. Nö. Ist okay. Die Welt ist Pay to Win und es ist nur fair, wenn man sich an die Spielregeln hält. Ich finde, du gehörst nicht zu dieser Sorte Menschen.
What makes you so sure?
Es gibt keinen Auftraggeber, aber du hast trotzdem das Richtige getan.
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate.
I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery.
But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring
Und womit wird sie verhören? Ganz bestimmt nicht mit ihrem Schaden.
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler.
Alles klar.
As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Okay, die werden jetzt da drin verhört, oder was? Warte bis zum nächsten Vormittag. 6 bis 12 Uhr. Okay, dann warten wir. Ich hab noch Post. Oh, warte. Ja, ich wollte noch das Achievement holen.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time.
Irgendwelche Ergebnisse?
We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here.
Der denkt sich gerade nur so cringe.
Yes, I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
So. Habe ich noch welche? Nee.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, ist das der Opa?
What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Kleiner Waschlappen, du.
Sino taught her well.
Kandake ist jetzt ein Profi im Verhören und im Foltern. Wobei die ist so gut im Foltern, dass man die Folterspuren gar nicht sieht. Ich bin beeindruckt.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal.
Mercy! Please have mercy!
You've made your bed.
Töte sie.
We may all
Do
be
it.
desert dwellers, but there's one thing
Kill
that
them.
I understand better than you. The resurrection of King Deshret will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life.
Aber das können wir nur, wenn du sie tötest. Do it.
To lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry.
Nein, wir müssen ein Exempel statuieren. Töte 2 und den letzten lässt du leben, damit er die Geschichte weitererzählen kann und die Leute warnen kann. Gut. Sie haben den Tod verdient.
I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
Oder ich habe noch eine bessere Idee. Sie prügeln sich alle in einem Kampf auf Leben und Tod. So lange, bis nur noch einer übrig bleibt. 3 Freunde, die sich jetzt selber um ihr Leben prügeln müssen. Die gegeneinander kämpfen müssen, bis auf den Tod. Das ist eine schöne Strafe, finde ich.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about King Deshret's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called village keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection, and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
Wo sind die Dorfwächter jetzt?
I'm not sure.
Ich bin immer noch dafür, sie zu töten.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Ich mag Zaino, ich mag
I'm
ihn.
telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Hast du einen Verdacht zur Identität des Unbekannten?
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself King Deshret's envoy.
Klingt nach Tanzlauf.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Hat er sie jetzt umgebracht?
Smooth.
Sehr gut.
Okay, speak.
Very
If
good.
my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
Ah, natürlich, mit Maske, das ist Il Dottore.
Attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the academia again.
Cetari hat in Sumeru auch gesagt.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with
Was
the
hat sie
village
gesagt?
keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Alles klar. Ah, sieh mal eine an. Edgeboy Nummer 2 ist auch wieder da.
Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
Der gibt mir gerade richtig harte Kakashi-Vibes.
Only sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway?
Hör auf, da rumzusitzen und Hentais zu lesen und hilf lieber mit.
Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Sorry, aber ich muss dich da korrigieren. Du scheinst niemals nachzudenken. Punkt.
Paimon's so mad. Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname.
Ja, mach.
Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate.
Ich find's immer wieder schön, wie die Charaktere mit ihren Gedanken reden können, ohne den Mund zu bewegen.
Keep searching for the truth of this matter. Yes?
So viel Geld, so viele Milliarden und Hoyoverse hat's immer noch nicht hinbekommen, selbst in Honkai Star Rail nicht, vernünftiges Lip-Syncing hinzukriegen. Ah ja. Das ganze Geld fließt halt in das Design der Charaktere, vor allem die weiblichen.
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
Willst du uns Zeit geben, noch einmal darüber nachzudenken?
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Tja, da hat er irgendwo recht.
Yeah, you're all talk!
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing?
Keine Ahnung, interessiert mich auch nicht.
In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
Keine Ahnung, interessiert mich auch nicht.
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru.
Hallo Seria, hallo.
Because whether King Deshret or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
Oder anders gesagt, die Menschen hier, die sind so arm, dass es sie eigentlich gar nicht kümmert, wer gerade an der Macht ist, weil es an ihrem Zustand nichts ändern wird. Oder nur wenig. Fühle ich irgendwie. Es betrifft sie halt nicht. Der Hinweis liegt also bei jemandem, den wir kennen.
Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes.
fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Ach, die.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
Na, was geht? Sumeru-Story weitermachen. Ansonsten heute nicht viel. Mal gucken, wie weit ich komme. Ich habe irgendwie so das Gefühl, dass Sumeru storytechnisch richtig lang geht, ey. Ich will das eigentlich so schnell wie möglich abgeschlossen haben. Genshin-Story ist immer so viel Gelaber, immer so viel Filler-Dialog. Be right back. Ist echt viel Gelaber immer, aber nicht nur in Sumeru. Die Sidequest-Reihen im Regenwald von Sumeru ist noch schlimmer. Fuck. Ja, ich glaube, den ganzen anderen Content, den mache ich offline, so nebenbei.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
Ich hab halt jetzt mehrfach gehört, dass es in Honkai Star Rail genauso ist. Dass die Dialoge sich ewig ziehen und dass vieles davon hätte auch gekürzt werden können.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them,
finde ich nicht so sehr. In Star Rail quatschen die schon weniger. Echt? Okay.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
Ja, clever.
We're on it.
Die Sache, die mich bei Genshin halt seit Inazuma immer so ein bisschen nervt, ist, dass du ewig brauchst, bis irgendwas passiert. Also du hast halt teilweise Stunden um Stunden an Build-up und Dialogen. Oh, es ist einfach so viel teilweise. Es ist anstrengend. Es ist nicht wie in Final Fantasy, wo das Pacing sehr gut ist. So, dass ich nie wirklich das Gefühl habe, okay, beeilt euch mal mit dem Reden oder weil wo ich halt nie das Gefühl habe, es zieht sich. So. In Genshin, schon öfters. In Azuma zum Beispiel, da hast du teilweise sehr viele Main-Story-Beats, wo du halt einfach, die einfach so viel gelabert haben und es hat einfach nichts zur Story beigetragen. Ich meine, wenn was passiert, ne, dann ist es halt mega geil. Also die Höhepunkte sind halt wirklich richtig hoch, aber bis man dahin halt kommt, das dauert halt. Deshalb könnte ich das auch nicht zweimal zocken. Ich verstehe auch nicht so die Leute, die, also Ins zum Beispiel, also Kitsune, die hat ja einen zweiten Account und die spielt halt die Story halt ein zweites Mal so. Könnte ich halt niemals machen, weil das ist einfach wie Kaugummi teilweise dann wäre für mich. Es würde sich so hart ziehen. Verstehe ich halt nicht.
Mr. Alhaitham,
aber gut.
I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
Ist das so ein Gespräch und du wirst belohnt, Sache? Okay, ich spreche.
May I call you Traveler?
Hallo, Fräulein Shani.
Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better?
Nein.
Why's that?
Denn sie bringt Krieg.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Nein, ihr werdet immer arm bleiben. Ich kann es nicht versprechen, aber ich tue mein Bestes. Ich tue mein Bestes, dieses DLC möglichst schnell durchzukriegen und mich zu verpissen, damit ihr mich nie wiedersehen werdet. Ich würde gerne Paimon hier lassen, wenn ich könnte.
It isn't wrong of you to be weary, and we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
Du kannst auch gerne noch ein bisschen länger bleiben, Paimon. So für immer.
My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the Radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is
ein Halbblut. The fuck. Bin ich auch ein Halbblut?
Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham.
Gleich mal auf Twitter posten.
I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Bist du sicher, dass es nicht ein Tinnitus ist?
Perhaps.
Ich höre auch immer beim Einschlafen irgendeinen Ton.
It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
Kannst du bestimmen, wo das Geräusch herkommt?
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Okay, dann let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Was ich gerade sagte. Interessant. Vielleicht sind da Geister. Geister, Geister, Weißbrot. Ist das da oben? Nee, ich muss einfach nur hier durch. Oh, eine Seele. Vielleicht ist das das, was sie gehört hat. Sieht auch gut aus. Gleich mal ein Foto machen. Nee, das ist kacke so. Wir machen es so. Ach, scheiße, die Seele ist im Bild. Verpiss dich! Du fotobombst mich ja.
Take it easy. Quiet now.
One with nature, as one with wind and cloud.
Embrace the ice.
Busted.
So.
Take flight.
The wind knows me.
A chest full of valuables and a trove.
Okay, also nochmal. Ich würde ganz gerne ein Foto davon machen. Mal Foto machen. Ich möchte ein Foto machen. So. Oh, sieht gut aus.
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape, and there's sand everywhere.
Willkommen in der Hut.
Monsters, watch out!
Willkommen in Berlin-Kreuzberg.
Here comes the catch.
One with nature.
Whirling snow. Kamisato art. Sumeru.
Noch mehr Gegner. Oh, so ein großer.
Quietly now. Take it easy.
Fallen leaves adorn my night.
My pump.
Game's up. Game's over.
Whirling snow. Embrace the ice.
Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds.
Wow. Opening box of adepti drinks. My apologies.
So.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected.
Was für eine Art Gegner hast du denn erwartet? Zuhälter und Drogendealer?
Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that. He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A-game too.
Mein Paket ist noch nicht zurückgekommen. Was? Immer noch nicht? Warte, da muss ich dann nochmal anrufen. Ich rufe morgen nochmal an. Weil der Typ, mit dem ich quatschte vom Zollamt, der hat gesagt, ja, schick uns einfach eine E-Mail an die und die E-Mail, dass du das Paket verweigerst. Und dann wird es wieder zurückgeschickt. Ihr durchsucht das verlassene Krankenhaus gewissenhaft.
patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then.
Bis dahin warten wir. Ja, ich rufe morgen nochmal an und dann sage ich dir Bescheid. Ist ja weird.
And just like that, he sits down.
Geht wieder seine Hentais lesen.
What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Er ist ein Man of Culture. Nee, warte.
Okay, sure.
Warte, was? Ist angeblich gestern wieder in der Schweiz angekommen. Achso, ja gut, dann brauche ich ja nicht. Ja, dann ist ja alles okay, dann ist ja auf dem Weg.
Propensity of an entity in natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory.
Ja, whatever.
You got that?
Paimon muss sich halt richtig anstrengen, um diese komplizierten Wörter zu lesen, weil Paimon halt nur einen IQ im einstelligen Bereich hat.
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
Paimon ist so dämlich, sie vergisst manchmal zu atmen.
How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Vielleicht solltest du auch einfach mal erwachsen werden und etwas lernen. Wie wär's damit?
What good is that gonna do for you? You're acting like one of those annoying grown-ups who go around nagging people to focus on their studies.
Wenn du etwas lernst, kannst du Geld für meinen Unterhalt verdienen. Oh, ich mag diese Dialogoption. Stimmt. Wenn du schon so nervig bist, dann kannst du vielleicht, dann kannst du wenigstens auch ein bisschen dafür was machen. Damit ich dich ertragen muss.
Hey, what gives? Shouldn't you be the one providing for Paimon?
Was? So funktioniert das nicht. So ist es doch bereits.
Oh, right. Okay then.
Paimon ist wie so ein kleiner Parasit.
Thank you for working so hard and earning so much more. If it weren't for you, Paimon would probably still be floating around in the ocean somewhere.
Ja, das ist ja sehr lieb, aber von deiner Dankbarkeit kann ich mir kein Essen kaufen. Geh verdammt nochmal arbeiten.
Thank you.
Können wir Paimon nicht zum Jobcenter schicken? Dann können die sich mit der rumschlagen.
Paimon's getting so sleepy.
Oh, ich hab was.
What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Imagine, du bist irgendwo in so einem verlassenen Haus oder so. In so einer Villa und du hörst sowas in der Nacht. Alter, ich würd auf mein Leben nicht klarkommen, ey. Ich würd mich direkt einkacken.
Hm? It's from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here.
Ich finde manche Lost Places ja schon bei Tag creepy, aber bei Nacht, ne? Das ist eine ganz andere Welt.
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one.
Und dann ist es auch noch ein fucking Krankenhaus.
Other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Okay. Hä? Wieso wurde ich jetzt raus teleportiert? Untersuche die Elementarstelen in der Umgebung. Achso, okay. Hier ist noch ein Dendro. Joa. Ach, da. Jetzt muss ich ja wieder zu Grammar wechseln, oder? Gibt's hier denn irgendwo einen Spender? Eine Spende bitte. Oh Mann. Ja, okay, gut. Aber ich habe mein Achievement.
Trainee Forest Ranger.
So. Untersuche die Elementarstähle. Warte mal, aber das habe ich doch auch aktiviert. Warum zählt das nicht? Okay, weird. Da ist noch eins. Oh, das ist noch nicht freigeschaltet. Ach so, deswegen.
Life goes on.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Take flight.
Noch mehr Gegner. Okay, komm her.
Kamisato out. Sumeru. Whirling.
Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over.
Unthinkable. Take flight.
Sacred name. Fortune preserve.
Polly macht 0 Schaden und ist tot, weil sie Level 1 ist. Weil sie genauso nutzlos ist wie ihr Level.
Embrace the ice. My apologies.
So. Das war Nummer 2 und Nummer 3 ist wahrscheinlich da oben oder so.
That's close enough.
Here comes the catch.
Wo ist jetzt die dritte Stele? Ah, da oben. Wie komme ich denn da hoch? So.
Kamisato out. Sumeru.
Okay. Das hätte ich jetzt aktiviert. Aber sag mir nicht, ich brauche Kollei noch mehr. Sieht gut aus. Ein Essensplan.
Look, there's someone over there.
Sei vorsichtig, das könnte einer dieser Wahnsinnigen sein.
Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life.
Was ist dann sonst mit ihm passiert?
Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos.
Why? Warum musst du die Scheiße jetzt schon wieder ausgraben? Oh.
Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Ja, ich weiß. Mann, ich bin nicht dumm. Das ist mir bewusst. Ja, du musst den Scheiß jetzt nicht nochmal ansprechen.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto King Deshret's followers.
Okay.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal
Das ist wie so ein
ever since
Methlabor.
King Deshret's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Verstehe mal nicht.
It's in line
It's
with
Tuesday, innit?
Chief's theory too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons.
Ach so, ja, natürlich, ich verstehe. Genau. Und danach werden sie zu Verstorbenen, oder wie?
An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want to think about this.
Ich meine, was dachtest du denn sonst, wie diese Wissenskonserven entstehen? Auf Bäumen wachsen? Woher weißt du von dieser Technik?
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
Die meisten dieser wahnsinnig gewordenen Gelehrten waren im Wald mit der göttlichen Erkenntnis verbunden. Man kann sagen, dieses Wissen hat mit den Fatui, Il Dottore und Scaramouche zu tun. Sie nutzen es, um Scaramouche in einen Gott zu verwandeln.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer.
Die Akademie braucht Leute, die mit der göttlichen Erkenntnis in Berührung gekommen sind.
That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
Deine Absichten sind spezieller und persönlicher.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Er lehnt zwar höhere Gerechtigkeit und Verantwortung ab, aber er kennt die Logik von den extremen individuellen Handlungen an. So eine Person ist vielleicht gut als Kamerad geeignet. Ja, darüber können wir nochmal debattieren.
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that.
Was machen wir jetzt mit dem? Entsorgen wir ihn? Im Fluss? Es wird keine Zeugen geben. Ich meine, er gilt sowieso schon als vermisst. Es wäre jetzt kein Verlust.
He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
Alles klar. Sieht hier aus wie so ein Untergrundlabor für Drogen. Was haben wir denn sonst noch hier? Hier sind keine Drohnen. Alles klar, dann zurück ins Aru-Dorf.
We're back! You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
Erzählt an, was ihr in dem verlassenen Krankenhaus erfahren habt. Oh, das sind aber ein paar richtig leckere N64 Wassermelonen.
The abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Wir haben einen 31er in unseren Reihen.
What is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Tja,
Are our friendships that shallow?
entweder alle Heiltam oder Deja. Weil Deja so nutzlos, Deja ist so useless
None of you have realized wherein
und so
lies
geldgeil. Ich kann mir schon vorstellen, dass sie uns verkauft hat.
Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole.
Toll, jetzt spielen wir eine Runde Among Us.
Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham, since you were always acting alone.
Oder ist es Kandake?
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination.
Okay, krass.
It knew all of this.
Kann es mir auch die Lottozahlen vorhersagen?
My every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resigned is proof that their suspicions were well-founded.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
Genau.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now. If the Academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be...
Der Ort, an dem Sino gerade war. Sino.
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going.
Einmal, du wirst immer schlauer. Aber das heißt nicht, dass du schlau wirst. Nur weil ein Hund ein paar Tricks lernt, heißt es nicht, dass der Hund jetzt schlau ist.
There's also something
Paimon ist nicht mein Hund, Paimon ist ein fliegender Papagei.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I wanna go too!
Nein, du bleibst hier, du hast Hausarrest, weil du besonders nervig bist.
You
Mit
want
deinem
to go
scheiß Opa.
too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
Oh, komm schon. Müssen wir jetzt noch Kindergärtner spielen oder was für diesen kleinen Pimpf?
I wanna find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Nein.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Oh.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you. Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Genau, wir machen jetzt eine gefährliche Unternehmung, bei der wir potenziell draufgehen könnten, weil die Akademie uns im Fadenkreuz hatte und uns wahrscheinlich aus dem Weg räumen möchte. Aber wir nehmen ein Kind mit, auf das wir dann 24/7 aufpassen müssen, weil das ja auch die logische Schlussfolgerung ist.
So, where do we go from here?
Ruf dir deinen bisherigen Weg ins Gedächtnis.
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
Okay.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Oh, bitte hör. Nicht reden.
Play here a lot?
Nicht reden. Psst. Schweigefuchs.
Grandpa almost got lost in the desert.
Oder wie ist es bei euch in der Wüste? Schweigekamel. Kennst du den Schweigekamel? Habe ich jetzt erfunden.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
Halt die Klappe und beschwer dich nicht. Du läufst sowieso nicht. Du fliegst einfach nur die ganze Zeit.
Okay.
Du musst dich nicht mal groß bewegen.
So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there looks like it's buried really deep.
Mit etwas Anstrengung habt ihr das im Sand versteckte Ding freigelegt.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset.
Okay, das ist aber ein großes Headset.
Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Die Gruppe teilt sich auf und durchkämmt unter großen Anstrengungen die Wüste. Aber glücklicherweise dauert es nicht lange und dann okay, wir haben Neues ausgebracht.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
Komisches Headset.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa.
Wahrscheinlich von den Dashret-Anhängern.
Okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon?
Eben.
Flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
Paimon ist einfach anstrengend.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting.
Ich hab doch gesagt, dass Dia
Let's
es ist.
listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia?
Ich hab's doch gecallt, dass sie sus ist.
Dia!
Weißt du warum? Weil sie nur ein D-Tier-Charakter ist.
What are you doing?
Deshalb.
Huh? Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra.
Sie ist der Imposter.
You'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than theirs.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter.
Ich mag sie.
Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King Deshret. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land, we will have a new beginning.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
Wieso hat sein Gürtel so ein Schlüsselloch?
It's not too late yet.
What the
village
fuck?
Mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back
Vielleicht ist
to
das ein
life.
Keuschheitsgürtel.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything we have.
Die auch.
Even if it'll expose
Was ist
you
das
to
für eine weirde
Even
Religion?
if they end up disbanding the Eremites, your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes.
Ach, das ist der Anführer der Goldbrigade.
We've
Rahmen.
waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the Academia. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukadavada have to say? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed King Deshret. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Nee, Paimon, das wird nicht passieren. Weißt du warum? Weil Al-Haytham aus dem Banner gepult werden kann. Deshalb kann er nicht sterben.
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast.
Oh, ja, können wir den bitte auf die Fresse hauen? Der geht mir so auf den
Do you
Sack, ne?
stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Na, das wird jetzt spannend.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
Interessant.
No. Dia, what are you gonna do? Think of something!
Ach, deshalb ist sie D-Tier-Charakter. Verstehe, weil sie einfach nur mit einem Arm kämpft.
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it.
Do it. Zeig mir deine Entschlossenheit.
Stop.
Oh, wirklich. Pussy.
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Ja, also ich hätte hier den Arm abgeschnitten.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I'd just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
Bitte geh nie wieder so ein Risiko ein.
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part.
Ihr kehrt alle ins Arudorf zurück und ruht euch in euren Zimmern aus. Aber wie stehen die Chancen, wird alles glatt gehen? Alles ist ungewiss. Ist das das Ende dieses Aktes? Warte bis zum nächsten Morgen. Gut. Dann warten wir bis zum nächsten Morgen. Oh, sorry. So. Trefft euch am Eingang des Dorfes. Gut, dann treffen wir uns am Eingang des Dorfes. Achso, warte mal, ich kann Grandpa jetzt langsam austauschen. Die brauche ich ja erstmal nicht.
Alright.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood? Or I'll be very upset with you.
Fine.
Geht zum vereinbarten Ort. Und der ist da hinter der riesigen Pyramide. Ach, das ist das Mausoleum von König Deshret. Ah, verstehe. Okay. Das heißt also, wir werden auch wahrscheinlich gegen den kämpfen, ne? Er wird wahrscheinlich irgendwie wiederbelebt werden. Oh, da ist eine Truhe. Die möchte ich haben. Kommt her.
As one with wind and cloud.
Opening box of Adepti tricks. Embrace the ice!
Busted. These are about to get dicey.
My apologies.
Into the wind.
Whirling jump.
Gotcha.
Ja.
One with nature.
Take flight.
A chest full of valuables.
So.
And a trove of potential clues.
Wenigstens sind hier diese Schnellreisepunkte, ja, Schnellreisepunkte, nicht diese Ransi-Punkte, überall relativ großzügig verteilt. Sodass man einigermaßen schnell vorankommt, aber Mounts werden immer noch besser. Just saying. Was ist das hier?
Take it easy.
Okay. Interessant. Umdrehen. Okay. Vielleicht muss ich die andere umdrehen. Dann sind auch noch Sanduhren. Okay, whatever. I don't get it. Ist vielleicht was hiermit zu tun? Oh, meine Berechtigung schlägt mich am Arsch. Schiebt euch eure Berechtigungsstufe sonst wohin. Goldbrigade. Felszauberer. Ein Kämpfer, der zu einer undisziplinen tritt in einen dämonischen Zustand wird. Achso, ja gut, hatte ich. Kenne ich ja.
Huh. They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Ist ja nur einer.
Grandpa! Why is there only one of them?
Rahman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise on my part. Don't you think you've asked enough?
Okay, also wir hauen den auf die Fresse. Hätten wir auch von Anfang an machen sollen.
You stay right there!
Oh, Cutscene. Let's go.
Mate, what do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here? You coward. Why are your hands shaking? Wait a second. It's a earthquake!
Ich sag dir, wir hätten dieses scheiß Kind nicht mitbringen sollen. Lol. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Opa hat Superkräfte? Kann ich auf Opa pullen? Der wäre mindestens ein A-Tier-Charakter. Seid ihr alle wohl auf? Ich will Opa in meinem Team haben.
This day's going just great.
What a nuisance. The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body.
Könnte sein. Glaubst du mir jetzt?
Dendro Archon.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no. He's getting confused again.
Hey, look around you.
Ich glaube, ich war hier unten sogar schon.
Used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
He's not actually gonna go in there, is he?
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of King Deshret's civilization appear. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. Or creature, you could say. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Indeed.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people. Right now, I'm going inside.
Der Typ geht mir so auf den Sack mit seinem King Deshret Fangebäude.
Take it easy.
Ah, das ist ein Dungeon. Okay, let's go. Oh.
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside. Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Raman.
Huh?
Do you see another Raman here?
Are you mocking me? What do you mean, sir?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from King Deshret's civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
Bringen tief in die Ruine vor. Okay, warte mal, was haben wir hier? Ein paar Stelen. Okay. Was ist das hier? Tracht als Sterblicher den Tempel hinauf und höre auf den Heiligen Rat von König Deshret. Whatever. Okay, diese Stele dreht nur die rechte. Und diese dreht... Gar keine. Mhm. Dann gehen wir mal tiefer. Ich hoffe, ich krieg jetzt endlich diese verfickten Rechte hier. Oh, das ist... Lol, das ist, Ist das nicht so eine ägyptische Gottheit? Horus oder so?
Quietly now.
Sakura swirl!
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my no— Game's up. Fun's over. One with nature.
Embrace the ice!
Here comes the catch. The wind knows me.
So, okay. Ja, weiter geht's. Oh, man kann hier durchlooten. Mhm. Oh nee, es ist so ein Scheiß. Sesam, öffne dich. Nochmal Monster und da geht's noch weiter nach unten anscheinend.
Into the wind, as one with wind and cloud.
Sacred name, fortune
Alles klar. Und runter. Oder hoch. Ich dachte gerade, der geht wieder runter. Der Aufzug fährt auf den Boden hinunter, steigt auf den Aufzug, bevor er wieder nach oben fährt. Ah, okay. Ich bin hier gerade am Lesen, ihr scheiß Pilze. Erinnert mich so ein bisschen an Dark Souls, so mit diesen Aufzügen. Da gibt es auch manche Aufzüge, wo man sich dann draufstellen muss, um bestimmte Spots zu erreichen.
Take flight. Embrace the ice.
Okay, verstehe. Kommt jetzt hier hoch? Ja.
Must remain calm, one with nature, fallen leaves.
Opening box of Adepti-Trix.
The wind knows me.
Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha.
Into the wind.
Sakura Swirl.
Sakura Swirl. So, jetzt muss ich wieder ein paar Säulen drehen. Was hiermit? Okay. Okay, die kann ich nicht drehen. Kann ich auch nicht drehen. Weird. So. Ach so, kann ich das damit dann locken oder was? Ja. Oder drehen die sich immer von... Ah, die drehen sich von alleine. So. Das gleiche bei dem. Hä? Und was bringt mir das jetzt? Ich bin doch da von unten gerade runter hochgekommen. Da kam ich doch gerade her.
Take it easy.
Vielleicht hier lang? Das sieht eigentlich aus, als ob dahinter noch irgendwas ist. Soll ich jetzt wirklich hier runter? Ich war da doch. Ah, ich gehe noch weiter nach unten. Okay, verstehe.
Now that's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
Halt die Fresse. Ich komm hier gar nicht raus. Der Typ labert so einen gequirlten Bullshit. Gleich mal Foto machen. Aber ich kann hier kein Foto machen. Echt? Das sieht so gut aus und ich darf hier kein scheiß Foto machen. Ich bin... Oh, was? Why? Warum gibt's keinen Fotomodus in Dungeons? Oh, rennen kann ich auch nicht. Davon würde ich halt so gerne ein Foto machen.
Oh, it looks so beautiful.
Wait, what's that?
Ey, das ist so ein Hund wie du. Einen auf dem Kopf hast.
And it looks like there's something among them.
Sieht aus wie ein Grab.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
Natürlich, ja.
He's not serious,
Ich kann mindestens 23.
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life.
Sorry, dass ich nur 2 Sprachen kann.
Trying to tell us something?
Ja. Was soll ich sagen? Deshalb bist du auch nicht an der Akademie. Also wirklich. Das ist doch das Mindeste. Oh, es ist... Okay, verstehe. Es ist sowas.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Dann lass mal sehen. Ich hoffe, das fährt noch hoch. Welches Betriebssystem ist das? Ich meine, das ist ja jetzt wie viele tausend Jahre alt? Wahrscheinlich ist es noch Windows 95 oder so.
Is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague.
Interessant.
People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Ruka Devata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end.
Hey, das ist,
As I close my eyes for the
das ist Zino.
the sight of that
Sein Großvater.
deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange.
Aha, also ist das die ein und dieselbe Person.
I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, Cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
Ich dachte, König Deschred hat das verbotene Wissen in diese Welt gebracht, oder nicht?
No.
Also ist er der Böse. Er meinte doch gerade... Ach, whatever. I don't care.
So the former Dendro Archon and King Deshret were never enemies at all.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
Die höhere Herrin Rukadevata hat ihre helfende Hände nach König Deschred und seinen Anhängern ausgestreckt, aber es brauchte so viel Kraft, das verbotene Wissen auszulöschen. Am Ende hassten sich die Anhänger der zwei Götter und betrachteten sich als tödliche Feinde. Sie hatten nie gedacht, dass die beiden Seiten so eng miteinander verbunden sind.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refused to believe any of the rumors. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization, it was all Greater Lord Rukadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding, double...
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Aramites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Ihr kämpft, weil ihr engstirnige kleine Pussys seid. Weil ihr dämlich seid.
Hey,
aber Religion in a nutshell, ne? Was soll man dazu sagen?
Thanks. I should probably go. I can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. You'll get everything you're asking for. But please, give me some time.
Wenigstens rastet er nicht komplett aus und wird wahnsinnig oder so.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow. I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you, too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough. But he seems to have figured things out now.
Raman's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
Das ist eine gute Sache.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice, long sleep. We'll need all our energy tomorrow. We're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Glaub mir, das wird sie nicht. Cool. Wie viel der Story habe ich schon durch? Wie viel Prozent? Was würdet ihr sagen? Da hinten ist eine Truhe.
Work time! Time to work.
Quietly now.
Whirling snow!
Clouds high. The birds call.
Ach komm.
One with nature.
Put your back into it!
Take flight! Yeah, unthinkable! Wheel of life. Gotcha! Here comes the catch. My apologies! Kamisato art! Sumeru!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Whirling snow!
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Take flight! Sakura swirl! Rise, sacred name.
Ich hasse diese R-Typen, weil die einfach so ein kackes Schild haben.
Clouds high. The birds call. Busted.
Whirling snow!
One with nature.
So, jetzt bin ich da durch. Oh, da kommen ja noch mehr.
Here comes the catch.
Take flight! Kamisato art! Sumeru!
Du, 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 du.
Blink! Busted. One with wind and cloud.
My apologies!
Quietly now. The wind knows me.
So, get wrecked.
Just a fateful offering.
Was haben wir hier? Besiege alle Hilly-Chölle. Ist das so eine Art Mini-Quest?
Things are about to get better.
Take flight! Sakura swirl!
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds call.
Yeah. Whirling snow!
Raman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keeper.
I guess all I can say now is thanks for agreeing to help.
Ah, don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you!
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick, please! Swift and painless!
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turned pale like they've seen a ghost!
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by ourselves.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently. Why? What are—
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry!
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Kann ich sie foltern, befragen? Die Weisen versuchen, einen neuen Gott zu erschaffen, nicht wahr?
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious, aren't you?
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of Academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
Was die Weisen erschaffen, ist nicht die höhere Herrin Rukkhadevata, sondern Skaradush.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the alchemy of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
From the beginning.
Oh, kennt ihr das, wenn euer Finger so schwitzig ist, dass die Fingerabdruckentsperrung beim Smartphone einfach nicht funktionieren möchte? Das geht mir so auf den Sack. Kann jemand mal bitte eine schweißabweisende Beschichtung entwickeln, damit ich nicht 5-mal versuche, mein Handy zu entsperren und es nicht klappt und ich manuell den PIN eingeben muss? Das geht mir so auf den Sack.
When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
Selbst jetzt weigern sie sich noch, die niedere Herrin Kusanali anzuerkennen. Ich hätte nicht gedacht, dass man auch als Gottheit so eine Grausamkeit erfahren kann.
Alright, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these 2 scholars, they're coming too.
Die werden gefoltert.
Sure, as you wish.
Hier oben ist ein Dendrokolus. Nein, scheiße, da komme ich nicht hoch, das ist zu steil. Ich glaube, ich gehe mal kurz hier das Ding freischalten. Ach, der Dendrokolus ist da oben. Oh, warte, da komme ich hoch. Sehr gut. Ja. Ihr seid ja witzig. Achso, da oben ist so eine unsichtbare Struktur. Hä? Oder auch nicht? Ah, hier. Boah, fast wäre ich runtergefallen.
Brings a smile to my face.
Gehe ich noch da runter? Und holen wir die Truhe? Nee. Oh, da unten geht's ja noch weiter. War Honkai Star Rail. Was geht gerade? Nach Genshin. Also, ich weiß nicht, ob ich erst ob ich nicht erst nach Genshin Nier Replicant zocke. Oder dann Honkai Star Rail. Ich wollte ursprünglich Honkai Star Rail zocken, aber ey, Genshin zieht sich gerade echt so lange mit den Dialogen und so, und bei Honkai Star Rail wird das dann auch wieder so sein. Und ich weiß nicht, ob ich die mentale Kapazität dafür habe. Weil das immer so Projekte sind, die sind sehr langatmig, weißt du? Deshalb weiß ich noch nicht. Vielleicht zocke ich auch erstmal Nier. So. Star Rail, die Dialoge sind echt uff manchmal. Habe ich halt auch schon gehört. Ich glaube, ich zocke erstmal Nier. Das wird, glaube ich, eine gute Abwechslung sein zu diesen ganzen Gacha-Spielen. Und dann, danach kann ich mir mal überlegen, Honkai Star Rail zu zocken. Ach, ich wusste es. Wusste es.
One with nature. Busted.
Take flight. Kami-san to art. Sumeru. Orders given. Orders received.
Here comes the cash. Take it easy. Quietly now.
So.
Easy money.
Ja, hab ich noch nicht gesehen.
A chest full of value.
Ich glaube, ich mache hier einen Cut. So langsam.
Potential clues.
Kann ich mir vielleicht noch einen Wish holen oder so? Ja, für einen reicht's noch. Okidoki. So, das war's mit dem Stream für heute. Kleine Planänderung. Ich werde wahrscheinlich nicht Sonntag einen festen Streaming-Tag einrichten, sondern Samstag. Weil ich werde ja eh abends streamen eher. Also, Sonntagabend, dann Stream ist auch mal so ein bisschen, ja, die Leute, die müssen dann eventuell am nächsten Tag arbeiten und können auch nicht mehr so lange mit dabei sein und so. Deshalb werde ich wahrscheinlich Samstagabend dann einen festen Streaming-Tag einrichten. Ja. So ab 17, 16 Uhr mal gucken. Und dann wird das erstmal für die nächste Zeit so bleiben. Bis das nächste Semester anfängt, weil dann wird wahrscheinlich mein Stundenplan auch wieder anders sein. Aber wir schauen mal, wie das dann so aussieht. Ich muss mich kurz hier ausloggen. So. Okay. Guti, danke fürs Lurken und Zugucken. War mir wie immer eine Freude. Wir sehen uns dann nächsten Samstag wahrscheinlich wieder zu Genshin Impacto. Alles klar. Gut, dann haut rein, Leute. Tschüss, schönes Wochenende noch. Also, naja, es sind nur noch 2 Stunden Wochenende. Haut rein.